Hello, this is Courtney Castleman, Program Manager at Junior Achievement of Northern Indiana. I wanted to say thank you for joining us today for a quick prep video for your JA lessons this year. Thank you for supporting JA and welcoming us into your classroom again this year. As you know, JA inspires and prepares young people for a successful future, and we do that through our lessons about financial literacy, work and career readiness, and entrepreneurship. And this year, these lessons are more important than ever. JA programs do correlate to state standards, and you can find out all about how they correlate by visiting our website at jani.org. Because volunteers are not allowed in the classroom this year, JA is going to look a little different. The educator is going to lead the majority of the program. However, we still wanted to involve our amazing volunteers and give your students access to their real-world experiences. Volunteers will be joining your classroom via your chosen web conferencing tool. The volunteers will be leading the introduction to the activity and walking the students through the activity as you, the educator, are helping to navigate in the classroom with the students. Your kit of JA materials will be delivered to your school. The kit has everything you need to lead the JA sessions. Most importantly, there is a guide for volunteers and educators in the front. This is the book that houses all of your lesson plans. In addition to the lesson plans, it has the overview and objectives. It has information about preparation that might be needed, such as separating out different worksheets, grouping different game pieces, or tearing apart different pieces of materials. It also has the step-by-step instructions for the activity, places to personalize your lessons, and pre-written talking points. Each JA lesson is formatted in the exact same way. There is a brief introduction, and most of the time will be spent doing an activity. There is also a short summary and review at the end of each session. The great thing about the JA lessons is that they are very flexible, so you can make any adjustments needed to make sure it works for your classroom. This is an example of what your lesson plans will look like. At the beginning of each session, there is a list of materials that you will need for that lesson. It is important to prep the materials beforehand so that they are ready to go while the volunteer is discussing with the students. You will want to prepare and read through the lesson so you are aware of what the volunteer will be going through, as well as looking at the activity so that you can help as the volunteer is going through the activity with the students. Feel free to work with your volunteer to modify the activity if needed. I also wanted to point out that each piece of material, whether it is a flashcard, game board, or poster, is labeled at the bottom. The red arrow is pointing to it on this slide. You can see that it is labeled with the correct name of the material and also what session you will need it for. This will help you stay organized as you are getting the materials ready for your students. Because the volunteer model is so different this year, I wanted to outline some ways you should be engaging your volunteer before your JA sessions. First, you will be paired with your volunteer via email. Then, it's helpful to introduce yourself and share some important information about your classroom. Then, it is your job as the educator to send the web conferencing invitation. That way, it is hosted on the school's platform and is a secure site. Once it's time to begin your lessons, I wanted to outline your role in the classroom. You'll be the one to launch the web conferencing platform. However, if you and your volunteer are having technical issues within 10 minutes, plan on leading the remainder of the session without the volunteer. Help manage students and logistics. Assist with web conferencing platform features such as muting or the chat box. Since the students might be wearing a mask, you might have to call on the students when the volunteer asks a question or repeat the student's answer so the volunteer can hear them. If needed, you can always type them in the chat box. After your JA sessions are complete, provide feedback about what went well or suggestions for improvement to your volunteer or your JA program manager. Then express your thanks for the volunteer's time, effort, and support. Once all of your JA sessions are complete, please fill out our JA evaluation and let your JA staff member know that you are finished. Please collect any extra materials that you might have and keep them. Your JA program manager will arrange how we will be picking those up. This is just a reminder that you are a part of something awesome. I wanted to share 3 of our favorite stats about our JA alumni so you know how important these JA lessons are to your students. 1 and 2 or 51% of JA alumni say they have worked in the same job or career as their JA volunteer. 4 in 5 of JA alumni report that JA played an important role in their decision to pursue further education. And 51% of JA alumni report having a bachelor's degree or higher, compared to 33% of the US population. These JA lessons are so important to your students, and I wanted to thank you so much for supporting JA and welcoming us into your classroom. We know this year is challenging, and we are so thankful that you are willing to go above and beyond to ensure that your students receive these essential programs. We are in this together, and your JA team is here for you. Please reach out to your program manager anytime for any question. We want to make sure that our JA programs are successful for our educators, our students, and our volunteers. Thank you for watching this brief prep session video, and we look forward to working with you.